on YouTube there when we're live. We should be live any minute. And we are live everywhere else. At Blog Talk Radio, I want to say God bless each and every one of you. Happy New Year, almost. It's New Year's Eve, all right? And we're closing in on the end of the year 2015. And I got with me in the studio today my son Brock, as well as Mike C. is here. And we testing some new software to see if we can do a little bit extra, be able to do a little bit better maybe with the PBT technology. So please have patience with us. We could have breakdowns. We could have things go completely crazy. And it's not like you haven't had that happen to you before, all right? So bear with us, but we will be testing some new software during this broadcast, and we hope that the possibilities with it will help enhance your viewing experience. Lord knows we need it. All right, so hey, guys, guess what? It's going to be a powerful day today. 2 hours today, and then 2 hours live broadcasting tonight. We'll be doing a special New Year's Eve broadcast. Let me get rid of that. New Year's Eve broadcast tonight will be powerful. We will review the 15 points of this year. We will review this year in review. All right? So when I get off the air here at 2 o'clock, Heidi and I will be working next few hours in preparation to bring you tonight's broadcast. All right? So that we can get you the best review possible. And we hope that it will enlighten on the fact that this has been an unbelievable year. Unbelievable year for Bible prophecy. It's been an unbelievable year for the power of God. We have had a year where we've been everywhere. I mean, we started out preaching this year in January in New York City. And we wound up preaching, of course, I can't remember, Rockford, Illinois, Ontario, California, twice doing television videoing and YouTube videoing in Israel. We held a crusade in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. We held a crusade in Dallas, Texas. We held two different revivals in Canada. We held a small conference up in Lansing, Michigan. We preached in Decatur, Illinois, Dowagiac, Michigan, and we held a powerful Blood Moon revival in Hyman, Pennsylvania, and I think I covered it all. I don't even know if I can remember it all. Plus, we had two really powerful conferences at our home church at Community Gospel Baptist Church, plus all the Sunday mornings worships we had as well. It's been a year unbelievable. We baptized this year 117 people this year. Personally, I have, and I can tell you, we don't even know we don't even know how many people have been saved. We know the last few days there's been 123 that we know of as we've been tapping into the YouTube and reaching out to others. Our television ministry this year took off in July, and there's just a lot going on. The main thing is people are getting saved. The blanket ministry, sending the blankets to those that are very ill, has really been a powerful decision, as well as the chemo caps. Our orphanages, both of them in India that we've been taking care of, and one in Pakistan. So many things you guys have done. So many things you have done has made a difference in the kingdom of God. Can you say amen? Just a powerful year. Well, we're going to review, though, all the current world events that have happened this year. And I'm going to give you the 16 points, apocalyptic points, for the year 2016 to look for. And if it's anything close to what we've seen this year, I'm just saying you need to keep looking up. I've had people call me on the phone last night talking about, January 6th and talking about Planet X. And could it be that we may see some things happen in the first quarter of this year that's going to move us even closer to the coming of the Lord? And of course, I don't know the answers. I can tell you what I see and what the Bible says will happen. And every time you see something happening in the world that is also prophesied to happen in the Bible, it is unbelievable. It just moves you closer to the end times. All right, we got to talk about earthquakes real quick here. But before we do, we're going to go to the Word of the Lord. We're going to bring Max in. If you give me a second here, I had to hustle to pull this all together. But we got some new graphics and things to try on you guys today. We've got some stuff that they're working on in this broadcast. Let me go to Max, okay? So give me 1 second here. That's because I should have had this pulled up, and usually I do. Sometimes I don't, as you guys already know. And here we go. All right. We're going to Revelation, and we're going to go to the 17th chapter of the book of Revelation. Max will be reading from the King James Version of
Revelation 17. And there came one of the 7 angels which had the 7 vials, and talked with me, saying unto me, Come hither. I will show unto thee the judgment of the great whore that sitteth upon many waters, with whom the kings of the earth have committed fornication, and the inhabitants of the earth have been made drunk with the wine of her fornication. So he carried me away in the spirit into the wilderness. And I saw a woman sit upon a scarlet-colored beast, full of names of blasphemy, having 7 heads and 10 horns. And the woman was arrayed in purple and scarlet color, and decked with gold and precious stones and pearls, having...
You know that this woman, if she has the 7 heads and 10 horns, this beast that she's riding, then she is riding the New World Order. So the New World Order, the beast, which it talks about in Revelation 13:1, is in play, and now the woman is riding the beast. The Bible calls her the great whore, and of course it has to do with idolatry, because any time that there's idolatry going on in the Bible, the Lord will refer to it as they went whoring after other idols, committing spiritual adultery against him. And in the last days, the beast will be led by an antichrist and a false prophet. There will be a one-world religion. There will be the great whore, literally, the apostasy of the church will be at an all-time high, a great falling away like we've never seen before from the gospel, but not a great fall away from Christianity, because the true Christians, the remnant, will be stronger than ever and will actually be at odds, unfortunately, with the great whore. Let's go on back to...
golden cup in her hand, full of abominations and filthiness of her fornication.
Oh, cool graphic.
And upon her forehead was a name written, Mystery, Babylon the Great, the mother of harlots and abominations of the earth. And I saw the woman drunken with the blood of the saints, and with the blood of the martyrs of Jesus. And when I saw her, I wondered with great admiration. And the angel said unto me, Wherefore didst thou marvel? I will tell thee the mystery of the woman and of the beast that carrieth her, which hath the 7 heads and 10 horns. The beast...
Now, before he goes into it, think about this. This whore, this is drunken with the blood of the saints that have been murdered. Now, if you see what's going on right now with ISIS, you guys know, that they are bloodletting. They're butchering. They're beheading, executing, and they're doing horrific things to people as part of their satanic ritual. They're doing it. And they say they're doing it unto God, unto their God. But what they're doing is exactly what the Bible said would happen here in Revelation 17. And sometimes people just like them. Yeah, but that's not what I was thinking of. I thought it was something different was going to happen. And there will be others. There's always been many different pagan worshiping gods, false religions or false idols. And this is going to be part of what the New World Order, it will be literally, the New World Order will be carrying this harlot of abominations. Let's go back here.
That thou sawest was and is not, and shall ascend out of the bottomless pit, and go into perdition. And they that dwell on the earth shall wonder, whose names were not written in the book of life from the foundation of the world, when they behold the beast that was, and is not, and yet is. And here is the mind which hath wisdom. The 7 heads are 7 mountains, on which the woman sitteth. And there are 7 kings. 5 are fallen, and 1 is, and the other is not yet come. And when he cometh, he must continue a short space. And the beast that was, and is not, even he is the eighth, and is of the seven, and goeth into perdition. And the 10 horns which thou sawest are 10 kings, which have received no kingdom as yet, but receive power as kings 1 hour with the beast.
So you're going to see these kingdoms, these 7 heads with 10 horns, wearing crowns of blasphemy. And they'll be drunken. This woman will be drunken with the blood of the saints. You know, besides ISIS, what they're doing, the bloodletting that they're doing, and besides the satanic groups that are doing it, folks, they're selling blood. They've been selling, ISIS has been selling little vials of Christian blood. And there are wealthy business men in Saudi Arabia who have been purchasing these vials of blood for $100,000 a vial so that they can wash their hands in the blood of saints. They believe it cleanses their soul before Allah. I mean, this stuff is going on. I'm sorry, but it's happening. And the Bible said it would. The Bible said it would.
These have one mind, and shall give their power and strength unto the beast. These shall make war with the Lamb, and the Lamb shall overcome them, for he is Lord of lords, and King of kings. And they that are with him are called, and chosen, and faithful. And he saith unto me, The waters which thou sawest, where the whore sitteth, are peoples, and multitudes, and nations, and tongues. And the 10 horns which thou sawest upon the beast, these shall hate the whore, and shall make her desolate and naked, and shall eat her flesh, and burn her with fire.
Now, the whore rides in on the beast. A lot of Jack Van Impe and some other Bible scholars believe that the whore is Chrislam, a blended Christianity with Islam. So whenever you see these interfaith type gatherings, like we had in 2014 when 71 churches, mega churches across America, these were churches that all had at least an attendance of 1,000 or more, for one Sunday morning, pushed the Bible aside and read from the Quran and had an imam with them in service. And it was supposed to be some way of bridging the gap and creating peace among religions. You see how far that's getting us. ISIS is romping and stomping. The whole world is caught up in a religious fervor of terrorism. And even Belgium has to shut down their New Year's Eve celebrations. They shut it down. They took it down. Taking the stages down, shut it down in Brussels, Belgium. They have succumbed to terrorism. And New York City, Washington, D.C., and Los Angeles, California are on the highest alerts ever for this New Year's Eve celebrations. They are freaking out in London, England, fearful in Paris, France, scared to death in Montreal, Canada, and Toronto, Canada, and Sydney, Australia, and there's other cities. So, folks, I'm telling you right now, the beast, the whore will ride in on the beast. This Chrislam doctrine, if that's what it is, and I believe it is a one-world religion, but in the end, the beast will turn even on it. For there will be no religion at all at some point. New World Order doesn't believe in any God, and that's why you'll see atheism. You will see the rise of secular humanism and transhumanoids. And that's part of this backbreeding of the Nazis, and this is how you bring about the Nephilims. This is all, and that's why you hear L.A. Marzulli talk about it, and Russ Dizdar and some of the others, Steve Quayle. And they're talking about eventually the transhumanoid, or what I call, the fallen ones, the corrupting of the seed of the DNA of man. So the whore will ride in on the beast, but will get stabbed to death. And no wonder Hotel California, the Eagles say they stabbed it with their steely knives, but they just can't kill the beast. It's almost like talking right out of the book of Revelations. I threw a little Eagles at you there, didn't we? What do you know about that? Believe me, a lot of the secular songs are written based on prophetic revelation to come, usually, though, on the basis of satanic side, trying to overcome the word of God. It never works. Can you say amen? So this is the situation we're in. We're dealing with these types of prophecies that are so close, so close, so
God hath
close.
put in their hearts to fulfill his will, and to agree, and give their kingdom unto the beast, until the words of God shall be fulfilled. And the woman which thou sawest is that great city, which reigneth over the kings of the earth.
Thank you, Max. Very good, very good. Let me get right into some. So again, tonight we'll get into some of the more about the coming of this next year and just what that will mean. It will be powerful. I want to welcome everybody that's here today. Earthquakes, unbelievable, very low, and yet NASA and NOAA are warning us that CMEs, we're going to have a direct hit by a CME sometime today, any moment between now, basically any time today. It is a direct hit. It's a very strong CME, coronal mass ejection. It's going to hit the Earth. It could, if it hit where there's a tectonic plate, it could cause a major earthquake over 6 or 7 or more. Just depends where it hit and if that plate is loose, if it's weak, or if it's ready to go, which could cause a tsunami. Okay, just saying. Certainly, it could also hit an area where there's a volcano. It could create a volcanic eruption. Also, it could just fry some power grids. Now, we've seen the last one we just had. We had a 6.2 and a 6.6 earthquake. 6.2 Indonesia, 6.6 Mexico. And the city of Memphis, Tennessee lost power for half the city. And it was no doubt, due to the CME. You can't get that officially confirmed, but, we're telling you that. And so here we are. Maybe this thing is going to hit right in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean and nothing happened, no earthquakes, nothing. Wouldn't that be great? And it might happen that way, and I hope it does. But I want you to know you have to, keep your eyes open right now for what's going to happen. If we see an uptick in earthquakes before the day is over or into the early mornings of tomorrow, we'll see. 2.6 earthquake in California. There was a 2.5 in Hawaii, a 3.0 in Oklahoma, a 4.8 New Zealand, 4.6 Indonesia, 2.7 Oregon, 3.2 Puerto Rico, 2.5 Oklahoma, 4.6 the Philippines, 2.5 Hawaii. There was a 4.6 in Haiti. Oh, I don't want any more quakes down there. 2.7 Alaska, 2.9 U.S. Virgin Islands, 5.7 quake not long ago in Nicaragua, 3.2 Oklahoma, and a 2.9 in Montana. Not many. 16 quakes. We'll see what happens. Maybe it will stay calm. Maybe it'll stay calm. But I'll tell you what's not going to stay calm. The Mississippi River is about to break the all-time record of floods. Folks, it's enormous. It's insane. It's amazing. And we have some, I got a picture here to show you that. Extreme weather predictions on the Mississippi as you're within sight of floodwater. Listen to this, folks. Even if it doesn't rain, another drop in the Missouri Valley or anywhere in the Mississippi Valley. Kathy Wonderich home in West Alton may still get flooded. And she's not the only one, folks. There is a situation here. The storms, even if the rain stops, even though the storms seem to be gone, even though things seem to be stopping as far as the intense weather, you take a look at that picture of the flooding there, you'll see the rivers. Here's the deal. Several bridges have been knocked out. And there's cities. There's a mall. There's a Taco Bell that the water's all the way up to the roof. A Jimmy John's almost to the top of the roof. Entire downtowns of small suburbs of St. Louis completely underwater. Homes washing down the Mississippi. Bridges being tore out. And 3 levees on the brink of being literally destroyed. 3 levees literally on the brink of being destroyed. And if they go, If they go, you're talking about hundreds, if not thousands of homes that's going to get washed away. Now, folks, this is a storm. This is actually a flood of biblical proportions. And it's not getting any better. Matter of fact, today, on this New Year's Eve, they expect the Mississippi River to crest and break the all-time record. It's already, right now as I'm talking to you, it's 30 feet above flood stage. I mean, you can see right there in the picture, you can see that highway up at the top, the highway running right in there. I mean, those are the tops of billboards over an interstate. Those are buildings over to the right that are completely up to the roof. It's over. I'm just telling you. It's billions of dollars in damage, and it's not as far as, is it over, Paul? This is it? It's the worst? No! You should see the water here in West Lafayette, Indiana. Wabash River completely overrun. Fields that look like lakes. And all this water has got to go somewhere. It's going to rush down along with the Illinois River and the Ohio River and the Wabash River and the Missouri River. And as this thing comes down, the Mississippi is still got a whole lot more water to come. And let's talk about the people in Mississippi, because right now the flooding is affecting Missouri and Illinois. 21 people have died, 13 of them in Illinois, and 13 in Missouri and 8 in Illinois. That's right now. But as the floodwaters do their damage and move on downstream, Mississippi, Memphis, Tennessee, we got to start talking about it. St. Louis already in trouble. And then when you get into Mississippi and then you get down into New Orleans, I don't know. It's just going to get real ugly in the Delta. I'm telling you right now, this thing is not over. It is the New Year's Eve flooding. It is literally a disaster and may cause as much damage as Katrina before it's all over or more, because of the amount of just miles of disaster that this thing is going to do. It's just incredible. And so, as you see right there, you're looking at an aerial view of the cameras captured parts of the greater St. Louis area that's underwater, and a shopping area is also half submerged. A Jimmy John's sandwich shop is at the top of its roof. The basements, forget basements. Okay? Just forget it. You can't pump this water. You can't put sandbags to stop this. And if if one levee breaks, it's horrible what will happen. And 2 or 3, and there's 3 of them right now threatened heavily. They may go. So we really need to pray for the folks down there in Missouri. It's really, really ugly what's going on there, and they really need our prayers. This is a disaster taking place right now. Let me tell you some more things going on. And again, we're going to keep our eyes open for any breaking news that could happen today, because of the terror threat is so high. So if anytime during this broadcast there is a major issue that happens with a terror threat, and I expect it even. It's New Year's Eve. It doesn't mean they have to do it in the evening. Let's see. And we might have something right now. Give me 1 second here. Let me see. So we've got we have a breaking news situation. ISIS wannabe is trying to plan a New Year's machete attack, according to the FBI. Let's just see what I've got here. Let me print this out, all right? Give me just 1 second. I'll print it, or I can read it easier. Give me a moment. Just take 1 second. Sorry about that. Give me 1 second, please. We have the FBI is, see, that's what I was saying. I mean, you just never know where something could happen. I'm just concerned. Thank God there's no schools in right now or colleges, because I think they would have been targets. And the shopping malls always are. But, here's what we have. Are we okay, guys? Are we live? Are we live?
Live stream.
Live stream's down? Okay, hang on. Those of you at YouTube and Blog Talk, you guys are fine. Just hang on a minute. Let's get live stream back up. Looks like you're almost connecting again. It's trying to connect. So we'll hang on 1 second. Okay. All right, we should be back, guys. Tell folks they can refresh their page if you would, Miss ZD. And you never know. I think the NSA is going to be everywhere. I think the NSA is going to be... we're not live, guys. Are we? I'm not showing it. They lost signal. We're not live. Hang on a minute, YouTube. I think we're about ready to come back up now. Let me know if we are. I think we're just about back. Yes, Blog Talk. Everything else is up. YouTube's up. So is Blog Talk. 1 second. 1 second here. We have this information that I'm going to share this with everybody, so I'm waiting just 1 second for live stream to get back. No sound. It's frozen. No live feed. Hang on 1 second. You know, I noticed anytime there's a high terrorist threat, even though we have a very high internet here, I sometimes think that they're racing through or whatever. Are we live? Oh, we lost the connection. Okay. Yeah, the plug is right over there on that wall. No? Hang on a second, everybody. Did you lose power? Oh, was it plugged in? Hang on, everybody. One moment. Yeah, I got a power here. Wow, right during a braking thing. Things break on us. It's crazy. All right, hang on. We'll be right back. Give us 1 second, everybody. As we reconnect with live stream, we found out what the problem is. So we're hang with us just for a moment. Let me quickly say to all you at Blog Talk Radio, I think we're coming back on. Thank you, Timothy. Don't forget to sign up for the 3 Days of Glory. Don't forget to sign up for 3 Days of Glory. It froze. Camera froze. Camera froze here. Want me to restart it? Yeah. Wow. Okay, what in the world happened here? Hang on, everybody. I'm not going to give up that quick. I'm not going to give up that quick. Just a second. It's trying to... Okay, here we go. Now let me get... Let's re-engage the camera. All right. Okay. All right. Let's let these guys engage. We should be fine now. We should be fine. That should have done it. That should have done it. 1 second, everyone. Thank you for your patience at YouTube and at Blog Talk. It says we're live, but the screen's black. Is that right? No, you're not connected. Okay. Still waiting to connect. Okay, I think we're getting ready to connect. I think we're getting ready to go live. 1 second here, everyone. I think we're just about back. All right, I believe we're going to be live. Okay, we're live. All right, now here's the deal. We have breaking news here. According to the FBI, breaking news. According to the FBI, I mean, you may have to refresh your page just for a second. We're not live, are we? According to the FBI, ISIS wannabe are planning a New Year's machete attack. A New Year's machete attack. Now, the federal officials in Rochester, New York, they've arrested and charged a local man who is allegedly plotting a New Year's Eve machete attack. Are we live? Yeah. Okay. Just my website ain't doing it. Okay, everybody says we're back. That's fine. We'll go with that. A New Year's Eve machete attack. A Rochester, New York man on diners. Get this. at a local restaurant in the name of ISIS. His name was Emmanuel Lutchman. He's 25 years old. He's an ex-con, a Muslim convert with mental issues. He was charged with attempting to provide material support to the terrorist groups, federal prosecutors are saying. The FBI says he had pledged allegiance to ISIS and its leader, Abu al-Baghdadi, and he wanted to leave the U.S. to live in the caliphate and was in contact with a reputed ISIS member in Syria who urged him to kill non-Muslims on the holiday. Now, New Year's is here soon, and of course we know this is New Year's Eve, and so they went ahead and got the guy and they arrested him. Here's the reason I want to bring, I'm glad you posted this, and it is important breaking news. The reason I want to bring this up when I seen what you had was it's not just guns and bombs. You can have thousands of police officers on the streets of New York City tonight, which they are. They're going to have 6,000 down there in and around, all around Times Square. But these guys will use hatchets. They'll use machetes. They'll use knives. Look what they're doing in Israel right now. Every day a Palestinian goes around, somebody's stabbing a Jew. Okay, so they'll use knives, they'll use machetes, they'll use hatchets. They will, and they could do this, and you don't know who it's going to be. And get this guy here was an ex-con who was converted to Islam while in prison. And I'm sorry, but I was a prison guard, and I can tell you there was a major movement in the prisons to convert some of these folks to Islam. And I'm telling you, this plan has been in the works for 30 or 40 years to convert the prisoners to Islam so that when they get set free, they have total allegiance to the Nation of Islam. Who do you think Louis Farrakhan is? Look, folks, I was sitting in a prison, and I was a prison guard at one time, but forget that. I hated it, okay? I hated the job. I quit. I hated it. But I went down, and those guys all need prayer that are trying to do that job. It's just an insane job in an insane environment, be quite honest. But I went down to visit a young man that was in prison down in Indianapolis. And the day I visited him, Mike Tyson was actually in that same prison. He was the former heavyweight champion of the world. At that time, he was the champion. And I'm sitting here talking to Timothy, and that's the young man's name, when they brought Mike Tyson in and set him right next to us. And an imam came to see him. So we're sitting right next to each other. Our chairs are right against each other. I'm talking to Timothy about Jesus Christ, and the imam's talking to Mike Tyson about, Islam. And this went on for about 2.5 hours, this visit. And Tyson at some point finally turns and looks at the guy and says, "Look, I don't believe anything you're telling me. I believe what he's saying," points at me. The thing is, there was this movement. There's been a movement in the prisons to convert prisoners to Islam, so that there would be a day when they'd be set free. Well, what has been happening is the President of the United States just recently cut a bunch of folks free, and he's going to continue to let a lot of prisoners out during his final year as the president. He said in his last year he's going to squeeze every last ounce of change out of this nation in his final year. These are his words. And he ran on change we can believe in. Well, he's closing Gitmo. He's setting the prisoners free that have already been converted. He's left the Middle East in a mess. He authored the Arab Spring. Everything that you see going on literally was part of his foreign policy disaster. And now we're all left picking up the pieces. And you guys know I'm telling you the truth, and I'm being easy. I'm being very easy compared to what I can really say about it. It's sad, folks. It's sad. Hey, guys, we had an airplane situation in Canada. I want to talk about it right now if we can. 21 people are injured. 21 people injured. A severe turbulence on a flight from China to Canada leaves 21 passengers injured. Have you guys got the picture? And because I can't see, I don't have a monitor for it won't let me today, and that's okay. The turbulence on the flight from China to Canada was so bad the passengers were flung from their seats, injuring 21 people. The aircraft was so badly battered by the wind that it had to divert and land in Calgary, 2,000 miles from where it wanted to go, which was Toronto. So from Shanghai to Toronto, on the way there, turbulence was so horrible, that 21 people were injured. You can see them taken away on stretchers and gurneys. They had neck and back injuries. Now, I've been on planes before where the turbulence was bad. And I remember one flight flying from Chicago, Illinois to Eau Claire, Wisconsin, which was a little short flight. It was in the middle of winter, really cold. They had to de-ice the plane, which I hated. And I never wanted to fly when they were de-icing planes. And it was a very cold. I had a meeting that day at Menards, actually, Menards headquarters in Eau Claire, Wisconsin. And I was trying to sell some product to the Menards chain. And I'm on this little puddle jumper is what I'll call it, a little bitty plane. There wasn't many people on it, like 15 people, a little bitty plane. But the winds were whipping, the snow was falling, and I'm thinking, do we even really need to be in this flight? You know, I have to go. My boss said you're going. And so, but the plane is going like this, and then finally, you know, they say, okay, things have settled down, and stewardess is trying to give everybody a cup of coffee when all of a sudden, boom, it's like we fell 3,000 feet. Boom, everybody went flying up to the ceiling and down, and I mean, oh my Lord. I learned from that day on, just keep your seatbelt on. I don't care if they take the sign down, just keep the seatbelt on. Because you never know. You never know when you're going to hit turbulence. But anyway, you can see they're taking people away in gurneys. 21 people injured. Flight never made it to Toronto. It had to land in Calgary. They had to put everybody on different flights and restart and do the whole thing. You know how that is. And it's a disaster when that happens. You're just going to spend the whole day, maybe the whole night, in the airport. So, but wait! It gets worse! Thank God you're not on the flight from India to London, England, because there's rats on the plane. What? Are you serious? Are you seriously serious? I'm so serious. Rats on the plane. You know, I'm leaving on a jet plane. I hope there's no more rats around here. I mean, seriously, folks, rats on a plane. Insane. But Air India flight headed to London, England, was forced to return to Mumbai after passengers spotted a rat on board. The airline said although the rat was not found on the plane, yeah, right, passengers everywhere saw this rat running around. So, but the airline's trying to say, well, we couldn't find it, you know, because they don't want to admit that there's rats on the plane. Of course, they don't want to admit it. They would rather say, look, we went ahead and did what the passengers wanted. Their safety and their concern is our. This thing. Think about this: you're on an international flight from Mumbai, India, to London, and that's a long flight, and you're 3 hours into it. And there's rats running around in the plane. So then they turn the plane around and go back to Mumbai. That's another 3 hours back to Mumbai. Then they got to get you another plane. You hope there's no rats on that one. Then they said they're going to fumigate the one you were on. This is not what you would say a pleasant. It's definitely not a pleasant, friendly skies. Although everybody seems to be on board. They seem to be letting people on or animals on or anything. The airline said although the rat was not found in the plane, it did return due to the passenger safety concerns, and they were later transferred to a different aircraft. Checks would have to be made to ensure the aircraft is rodent-free and the rat did not damage equipment or chew any wires. Yeah, I mean, you can't have rats on a plane. You can't have snakes on a plane. You can't have things like that on a plane. I mean, it's bad enough. You got some people on there. Sometimes you can't even need some of them you don't even want on the plane. Is this? Is this becoming the new normal? I wonder. anything that could go wrong seems to be. It's sort of like they're just, it's just crazy. Every time I think I've seen it all, something else happens. It blows me away. I say, I can't believe this. I just can't believe this. There's just all kinds of stuff going on right now. Again, we are praying for the folks down there in the Mississippi River area. We continue to pray for you guys all down the Mississippi Valley area, because we do not want these floods to be what they are, but they are. It's terrible. It's really terrible. Guys, ISIS is not going to stop. I know the president said that they're contained. I know the president said that they're shrinking. We've got them contained. They're a JV team. But the truth is they are continuing to take ground. We have reports this morning, dozens of people have been killed and wounded in multiple suicide bombings in a Kurdish city there in Syria. 3 suicide bombers targeting the Kurdish and Assyrian Christians. It's just terrible. Dozens of people killed or wounded, according to the Kurdish spokesman cited by Reuters. Twin suicide blast first targeted 2 restaurants in the city, according to Kurdish YPG militia, and then a third suicide bomber at another restaurant. 16 people are dead. 35 people are wounded in the attacks, according to the Syrian news agency. And ISIS has since claimed responsibility for the attacks, though the claim could not be immediately verified. Do we have any pictures on that or no? Okay. The situation is just disastrous. The third blast was reportedly came after the first 2 explosions. A source from the Assyrian military is told Sputnik News. A blast occurred one more restaurant, not far from the first 2 restaurants in suicide bombs. So it's kind of like a delayed reaction. The military and the Syrian forces are headed there. It's just a disaster. I've seen some of this. It's just horrific, and it never ends. ISIS is not going to stop till somebody stops them. They're not going to stop till somebody stops them. And really, Vladimir Putin seems to be the only one who really seems like he can. He seems like the only one that can. At least he's making a serious attempt. We showed you yesterday where he literally blew up 20 oil tankers that were headed into Turkey. They were right near the border. There were ISIS taking 20 crude oil tankers into Turkey when Russia flew over there. They had already seen the convoy going there. So Russian warplanes, Su-24s, I believe they were, flew in there, blew up the 20 oil tankers and the vehicles that were, escorting them. And then they even went ahead and blew up 6 oil refineries in the area. So Russia's putting the pressure on now. Turkey, that's why Turkey shot down the Russian plane, because Turkey's been buying the oil from ISIS. And even we found out that Erdogan, the leader of Turkey, that his son has been involved in the purchasing of this black market oil, which is funding terrorism. So basically, when Turkey's such liars when they say that they're trying to help stop ISIS, they're buying ISIS's oil, they're protecting ISIS the best they can, and they're fighting the Kurds. And the Kurds are Christians, for the most part, about 75% Christian. Kurds and Assyrian Christians just trying to live their own life in such a terrible, terrible situation. Just a terrible situation. So, what are you going to do? It's just, this is what I'm saying. You can't trust anybody over there in the Middle East. The whole thing is a mess. The whole situation's out of control. But it is Bible prophecy. It was prophesied to happen. And we are witnessing it right now. Matter of fact, I got another report here. ISIS is plotting to slaughter thousands in the year 2016 in a bid to spark a huge final battle with the West. Are you serious? This sick terror group they've activated hundreds of sleeper cells now in dozens of countries, they say, in an unprecedented bid to destabilize Western governments and to spark a huge military retaliation in the Middle East. Wow, that's why I think Belgium, that's why Brussels had to close their New Year's Eve celebrations, guys. I think that's why. Also, this shock claim from one of the world's leading authorities on the death cult comes amid fears of New Year's Eve terror plots in London, England, and other major world cities. The Islamic State of Iraq and Syria has carried out more than 50 attacks in 18 countries. They've killed 1,100 people, injured 17 others since it declared the caliphate in 2014. That's just attacks outside of Iraq and Syria. That's just in other nations. 18 different countries, they've carried out terrorist attacks and have killed over 1,100 people. That's a third of the number of people killed on 9/11. Meanwhile, while they're doing that, look at the slaughter of the genocide they're doing in Iraq and in Syria. And for people to say, and for Bernie Sanders and Hillary Rodham Clinton to say that the biggest threat to the world is global warming. It's, are you serious, Bernie? We don't want to spend another weekend with Bernie. And Hillary, she finally said there was a Christian genocide going on. She said, we now finally have proof that there may be something happening. Are you serious? Are you serious? So, I mean, these folks are so out of touch. They're so out of touch with what's going on. It doesn't fit their narrative. And Hillary would say, what's it matter anyway? It matters, Hillary. It matters. People are being butchered and murdered and slaughtered because they believe the gospel of Jesus Christ. But that's exactly what Jesus said would happen in the last days in Matthew 24. And he tells us that we'll be persecuted. And some of us even put to death. It says it's going to happen. And for some reason, the sleepy-eyed American church, to be honest with you, the padded pew parishioner doesn't understand that the puppets that are in the pulpit won't tell the folks what's exactly happening around the world. It is happening. It is happening. It is happening. I mean, breaking news. ISIS is alive. Breaking news. ISIS is alive, and they're still going. They haven't stopped. They're still being funded. The money's still flowing. So, I mean, I don't know. I mean, you ask me, it's just a craziness that's happening right now, and it's getting worse. Let me finish this little article here that ISIS is doing. Here's what ISIS has proclaimed. They've got their apocalyptic points. I guess this may have to be included in the 16 apocalyptic points. Next year, ISIS says, you will see a huge increase in both the number of scale of major terror attacks, according to Dr. Theodore Karnisic, a Gulf-based analyst of the regional geopolitical affairs who's extensively studied ISIS behaviors. He warned that ISIS media operation is taunting its enemy to come to fight their final battle. Breaking news. These guys are talking about either Armageddon. I mean, they're talking about the final battle. We can read it in Revelation. They've declared the caliphate. They called for the apocalyptic moment. They believe their leader, al-Baghdadi, is the caliph. And the truth is, these guys are calling for the final battle. And they had just made a proclamation a couple days ago. They told the Jews they were going to turn Israel into Palestine, a graveyard for the Jews. And they said, we're coming. We're closer than what you think. We're very close. And we'll be upon you before you know it. And here this guy is analyzing what ISIS is saying. And there's no question. So when the president, somebody help me out here. When the president says a year ago, don't worry about ISIS. They're like a JV team. You can put a Kobe Bryant jersey on them, and it don't make them a better player. And then the day of the attack, the day of Paris, France, the very day, in the morning, President Obama was being interviewed, and he said, look, don't worry about ISIS. They're shrinking. We have them contained now. What is he talking about? I think he was trying to give us this picture that things were going better in the war against ISIS over in Syria and Iraq. Totally ignoring the current immigration policy that's allowed these Syrian refugees. There's a lot of ISIS floating along in there. They have control of thousands of Syrian passports. They have the machine to make them. They're flooding Europe and America and Canada and Australia and South Africa. They're pouring them into every major free society, and they will be setting up sleeper cells, and they will be plotting and preparing to strike at the heart of freedom. And Christians and Jews will be their biggest targets. And I've been studying them with the book that I'm almost done with. I was working last night to midnight last night trying to get this thing finished, but every time I think I'm about done, there's another prophecy that I need to put in the book. And I was reading unbelievable prophecies in 1968 that was given by a lady that is so unreal. I mean, it's so on the money. It's like that David Wilkerson one of 73. I mean, it's just so on the money. It just blows you away. You just can't hardly believe it. And it was prophesied by a woman in 1968. It'll be in the book. The more I've been reading, the more I hear that I see these prophecies that the Lord was revealing what was coming upon the world and upon the church world, the world and to the body of Christ in the next 40 years. Now, her prophecy was 48 years old. It's 48 years old. And it's so on the money, it's incredible. And I thought back in 1968, so I'm thinking what this woman was saying would be happening. People were probably laughing at her and thought she was insane. Like, well, she's lost it. She's 90 years old, you know. Well, no. No, she wasn't insane. Let me share with you something here, what else he says. He warned that ISIS media operation is taunting its enemies to come fight their final battle. But first, it wants to show its global reach with zeal, from cells to lone wolves to bedroom jihadists, to target landmarks and crowds in dozens of countries across the world. Now, when we have the San Bernardino killing, we have people who got to come to this country on a marriage visa who have already been sworn jihadis. Then they're building bombs in their house. And then they plot to kill and slaughter a bunch of co-workers at a Christmas party. And yet our government denied all of this and said it wasn't a terrorist attack. Well, wait a minute. And for a week, and the FBI saying, are you guys insane? These people got bombs. These people had plans. They were building more IEDs in their house. They had scarves. They're hollering Allah Akbar. And we got people who were shot saying, look, they came in there hollering Allah Akbar. I mean, what else do you got? How much more proof do you need? See, this is what's happening. We have a government that is so left-wing liberal and so anti-American culture. They don't want the America that we've had. They don't want it. They don't like it. They don't like the family and, going to church on Sunday and playing football on Sunday afternoon and a barbecue in the backyard. They don't like this culture of Christianity that, factory workers and people going to work, coming home, raising their families. And this culture of freedom and your right to bear arms, go out and duck hunt, deer hunt, protect yourself in case somebody wants to take away. There's a farmers up in Michigan right now. I was just watching this yesterday or day before. Christian man has a farm, been raising pigs. They're a special breed of pig. He has chickens also. He will sell you pigs, pork and chicken and stuff, all organic. The eggs are organic. The meat's organic. They're called Green Acres or something like that. They're just wonderful Christian family. The government of Michigan said, no, those type of pigs that you're raising, we have outlawed them. They are to be exterminated. We need you to kill all the hogs and shut your farm down. He said, no, I'm not going to do that. This is my livelihood. This is what I do. This guy's a 20-year veteran. And so they raided him. Here come the FBI. Here came search warrants. They came with armed rifles, and they took over his farm and were planning on slaughtering his animals. This is in Michigan. And and Heidi said to me, well, you know what's happening here? You're going to soon see there'll be no pork anywhere on your supermarket shelves in America. I'll guarantee you before the end of the next administration. It depends which administration it is. But if what I think it is, it won't. No. So I'm telling you right now that American culture, they're saying that, the Amish have to put certain labels now on their milk. They can't just sell eggs from the egg farm. In certain states, they have to go through it. It's not been inspected by the USDA inspections. They're going to pass laws and put big fees. This is big government now controlling. They're crushing the little people so that the big monopoly, so that the government will control all food and all water and all medical care. You have to go through the beast. So when we tell you the beast is going to ride and that the whore is going to ride on the beast, believe me, the beast is already trampling around. And the only thing that hasn't happened was a declaration from the Antichrist himself that it's here. And every world leader talks about a new world order. I mean, you can find speeches after speeches of it. It's not just George H.W. Bush no more on YouTube. You can go find where Bill Clinton mentions it, where Obama talks about it, where Joe Biden literally proclaims it. Harry Kissinger wants it. Vladimir Putin talked about it. Leader of China wants it. The Pope Francis wants it. David Cameron discussed it. I mean, it just goes on and on and on and on. World leaders all over the world. Angela Merkel. It goes on and on and on. It is not a joke. The Illuminati is not a fairy tale. The New World Order is your biblical beast in Revelation, and it's coming to a town near you. And the question is, are you saved? And there's more I got to talk about. I'm not done with this ISIS thing. I'm not done with this show. I got another hour to go. And when I come back, we're going to dig into some breaking news blowing our minds. Once again, we're betraying Israel. The American current Obama administration betraying Israel again. Plus, we'll finish with ISIS and a whole lot more. This is New Year's Eve, and we're waiting on a CME direct hit to hit us at any time, according to NASA and to NOAA, which could affect us. We'll keep an eye on earthquakes. Hope to God nothing happens, but we have to keep an eye on it. They told us it was going to happen, so we'll see. And until then, I'll be right back, folks. Just sit right where you're at. Don't go nowhere. Great to have all of you here with us from all over the world. I'll see you in about 2.5 minutes.
The coming apocalypse. I beheld till the thrones were cast down, and the Ancient of Days did sit, whose garment was white as snow, and the hair of his head like the pure wool. His throne was like the fiery flame, and his wheels as burning fire. A fiery stream issued and came forth from before him. Thousands ministered unto him, and 10,000 times 10,000 stood before him. The judgment was set, and the books were opened. I beheld then because of the voice of the great words which the horn spake. I beheld even till the beast was slain, and his body destroyed, and given to the burning flame. As concerning the rest of the beasts, they had their dominion taken away, yet their lives were prolonged for a season and time. saw in the night visions, and behold, one like the Son of Man came with the clouds of heaven, and came to the Ancient of Days, and they brought him near before him. And there was given him dominion and glory and a kingdom that all people, nations, and languages should serve him. His dominion is an everlasting dominion which shall not pass away, and his kingdom that which shall not be destroyed. Welcome to the coming apocalypse. An analysis of today's headlines and how Bible prophecy is unfolding before your very eyes. Please welcome now your host, an anointed preacher, radio talk show host, prophetic teacher who travels globally and has a genuine love for people. Your pastor and mine. Please welcome Pastor Paul Begley. Salvation Station.
Are you serious?
Salvation Station. Salvation Station.
Are you serious? Folks, we have some breaking news coming in right now. Give us just a moment. I knew something wasn't going to go well. I hate it, but I knew. You just know. You can feel it. And we have an issue. Give me 1 second. I'm going to try to get my hands on it right now. We have a fire, a massive fire breaking out in Dubai at their New Year's fireworks display. They're saying, listen to this. Let me print it out real quick so I can read it a little easier and still see your guys' chats and keep up with you guys up to the minute with you communicating. I will tell you yet, I am going to come back to the story with ISIS. I am going to go back and tell you about the betrayal of Israel. But first, we got to deal with this breaking news coming out of the Associated Press 5 minutes ago that's just now hit. I want to thank Heidi for actually posting this in the chat room for us just a second ago. She told me about it during the break even. Give me 1 second. I want to quickly... We have breaking news out of Dubai. Breaking news at their out of their celebration. Here's what's going on. Massive fire out of the tower near Dubai's New Year's fireworks display. Fire broke out in a residential building near Dubai's massive New Year's Eve fireworks display. They're saying that it was not immediately clear what caused the fire, which ran up at least 20 stories. Are you serious? You have a fire that goes 20 stories, and you have an inferno. You have some kind of a burning tower, an inferno. This is an inferno on New Year's Eve, not far from where thousands and thousands of people, you have to realize it's a different time. They're several hours ahead of us right now, so they're getting close to the midnight hour. If they're 7 hours ahead of us, I know Israel's 7 hours ahead. I believe it's 8 o'clock in Israel right now. In Dubai, it may actually even be 8 or 9 o'clock. So they're partying. It's New Year's Eve, and a massive fire breaks out in a tower near where the celebration's going on. The fire ran up at least 20 stories of the building. It's near the world's tallest skyscraper, so it's a building near it. Are you serious? Burning debris rained down from the building as the fire trucks raced to the scene. It was not immediately clear if anyone was wounded in the blaze, but Dubai planned to wow the spectators with 3 separate firework displays. The show was to begin, which organizers said was fitted to hold 400,000 LED lights. They say 1.6 tons of fireworks would be used in the display. From there, the fireworks were to light up the sky around the sail-shaped area there, and later down near the Dubai Marina. Fireworks also will be on display there. But they have a fire that's up 20 stories. 20 stories. So we have breaking news coming out of Dubai. New Year's Eve fireworks display. Folks, a New Year's Eve fireworks display right near where thousands of people were going to be. A building has a flames raging as high as 20 stories. And we do not know what this means. I mean, that's all I got. So I don't know if there's people trapped. I don't know if people got out. I don't know if they've got the fire under control yet. This is a very fluid situation. But certainly that is not good. And it was in Dubai, United Arab Emirates, getting ready for their New Year's Eve celebration. That's not good, folks. It's just not good at all. And so we'll keep an eye on it. I know Heidi broke that to us, and here's a live feed. Thank you, Don. Let's stay with this breaking news story for a second. We have a live feed here. Let me get it, see if I can get some more info for you all. Thank you, Don, for getting that to us. Downtown Dubai live feed. I'm going to click on it, and let's hope it doesn't. Let's hope we got enough to handle this. Right, they're just promoting they're promoting their New Year's celebration. I'm trying to see if, now hang on a second, this ad will end and then I'm going to find out. They were going to have a spectacular celebration. I don't know if it's still going to go on or not now. Okay, Don, I couldn't, that ain't going to work. Okay, it's not going to work. Thank you though for trying to get it to us, trying to get us that anyway. So let me see. Okay, Dubai fire. Thank you so much, Nora Snow. Here we go. We got the latest on this. Staying with this breaking news story here for a moment, and that is this huge fire at a skyscraper in Dubai. Right next. Wow, that's insane. Okay, I gotta get this picture to you guys. All right, so hang on a second. Let me give me a second here. Got to get this picture to you guys. Let me send this to the guys running the graphics. You got to see this. This is unbelievable. Oh Lord have mercy. This is huge. This is huge. Unreal. Give me a couple seconds, everybody. If you're at YouTube, if you come to my website, if you want to see this picture, which is right from Dubai, if you come to my website in just a few moments, it'll go up on the screen. Let me see. Hang on one second. I'm going to send it in just 1 second. This is called the Dubai Fire, guys. If I could spell Dubai, it'd be great. It would be wonderful if I could. Of course I didn't, so don't type that as your graphic. Here we go. All right, let me send it. Boom, boom, okay. Just send it to you. They'll grab it. They'll have it up in just a few moments. It is unreal, and it's right next door to the tallest building in the world. And this building, it's not right next door, like adjacent to it, but I mean it's it's so close, it's scary. And this has to be terrorism. I mean, I don't know what are the odds of this happening, a fire of this magnitude. Breaking news out of Dubai. It's a massive fire. It's 20 stories high. I don't know if people are trapped up on the top floor of this thing or not. I don't know. There's no way. I mean, this thing is out of control. And we'll post it here on the screen in just a second. Again, the fire broke out today. The New Year's celebration was getting ready to get cranked up, was probably already. The people were gathering. The festivities were already happening. They don't know what caused this fire, but it is massive. It is definitely frightening to even look at. It's very close to the tallest building in the world. And when you hear of terrorist attacks and threats Anything is possible. And major cities like Dubai, under threat. Turkey, Istanbul, they're scared to death in Istanbul. Brussels, Belgium, they just closed New Year's Eve celebrations down. New York City's put 6,000 new soldiers on, policemen on the streets. So breaking news, this fire out of Dubai is just crazy. And about ready to get that? Can't pull it off? Hang on one second, they're working on it. This is just no question. There's no question that, in my mind, nobody's going to say terrorism, though. You're going to hear all the little wimps from the left run around and say, oh, no, we don't know. It could have been anything. Yeah, I know it could, and that's true. It really could. But, do the math. Do the math. Do you think these things actually happen all the time when there's plotted? I mean, it's evident. I mean, Turkey is so afraid of what this is. Thank you. Jenny says it's a 63-story building, and the fire is up as high as 20 stories. Okay, now I see someone might have a link here for me. JSCP77.
بشكل تام إلى الآن بسبب طبيعة هذا اليوم المزدحم في شوارع المكتب بالسواح وأهل البلد. لكن
well, I cannot. Obviously, I cannot. Let me see if I got any images here. Okay, I do. I got another one. I want to try to send this to you guys. Maybe this picture will be easier. So I'm going to try to send it to you. Give me 1 second here. 1 second. I'll try to send it and we can put it up on the screen. This is unbelievable. Did that last one go when I sent it to you? Did you receive that last picture? It never came in? Okay, I'm going to send you a new one. That's another, okay. One second. 1 second, everybody, hang on. Subject is just going to say fire. And the email is going to go right now. There it goes. Might have to update the email to find it. Just update the email real quick and it should be there. Hoping. I'll get out of there. Check it out and see. 63-story building is a raging fire, and you got to start wondering if there's people in this thing up on the high floors, and there's no way to get them down. I don't see how in the world you can get them down. They don't know. This thing's outrageously out of control. What you do is the huge hotel in Dubai is in flames just before the scheduled New Year's celebrations. Not knowing what caused this blaze. If anyone has been injured, they don't know. It's just happening. It's a fluid situation. Nearly all the floors in the building, which some reports say is residential and others are a hotel, they're now all on fire, as the fire just raging up through the building. Dubai, of course, is in the United Arab Emirates. Wow. And do you guys got it? Let's see. Did it go through?
Yeah, it went through.
Okay, they're putting it together. So 63. I don't know. I can't confirm if that's 63-story building, if that's correct. Are you talking about the building on fire? It's like a torch. We're talking about a skyscraper 63 stories high, and it looks like a flaming torch in the middle of Dubai, United Arab Emirates. And, it's happening right now, as they were probably within 3 hours or so of celebrating the New Year, 3 to 4 hours away from midnight. And they're saying it is, okay, it's going to go through here in just a second. We're going to get the picture. So hang on one second. It should come through. We've got a breaking news situation here. And it should come through. All right. You guys can see it already? Okay, great. It's coming through. Check this out, guys. It's an absolute massive fire. The building, it's just insane. And there's other angles of this fire. I've seen other pictures of this fire. It looks like a flaming torch, but you can see there. This thing is huge. And it's, to me, it looks like the fire's all the way to the top. Every floor, which is what one of these reports are. Somebody got another report for me, because listen, people, this thing is a apartment complexes, it's condos, it's a hotel, it's a city within a city. Yeah, one place says 20 floors on fire, but I'm looking at it, and it's all the way to the top. And then I have another report that says all the way to the top. So I'm not sure. It's completely out of control. It's insane. It's horrible. And it's in Dubai. Now, listen to what I'm saying. You might say, well, why would that happen there? Look. You have to hear me when I tell you this. ISIS is at war with everybody. If you're not under Sharia law, they're at war with you. Dubai is the most prosperous city in all of the Arabic world. And they have tremendous business relationships with the West, with the British and with the Americans. Unbelievable. All right? If you look at the skyscraper behind me, this is actually the Sears Tower in Chicago, okay? And the tallest building in the world is just a little bit taller than the Sears that this used to be. The building that's on fire is about this close as this one. And you can just about compare them in size. And this building, folks, as you can see right there on the screen, is completely here. Okay, got the screen on. Is completely engulfed in flames all the way to about right up here to the top. So you tell me, when this fire was raging, going up, how did these people get down? This could be the 9/11 of the Middle East right now, and I don't know if we even know this. I mean, I doubt the mainstream media. Finally, someone said, "There we go. There, take a look at that." Finally, CNN has just broke in live, so we're probably ahead of them. And this is insane. This is what I was trying to say. This is what ISIS is saying, is that they're bringing a war, and I'll show you guys up there, but they're bringing a war on YouTube, so don't have to worry. A war. They are wanting a war. We are in a war. Take a look at that building again as he puts it back on the screen. I mean, you're talking about chaos. I sent you another email, guys, with another picture if you want to pull it up. It's huge. The fire is unbelievable. And CNN is just now getting it live. Thank you so much. We need to find out. Dubai is one of the richest cities in the world. And so whenever Turkey, Istanbul, was concerned, Turkey is absolutely paranoid that they're going to get hit with terrorism tonight. Turkey, Istanbul, Turkey. And they're friends with ISIS, okay? Brussels, Belgium. They realize that they don't know how to control it. As you can see that building there, the flames are just raging, happening right now. We got breaking news taking place right now in Dubai, and I can tell you, it's now. Dr. Rosa says the burning debris is falling from the 300-meter tall or 1,000-foot building. Okay, debris is falling from it. And this thing's out of control. Does anybody have a clue how the people got? Do you know how many people was probably in this building? I'm just gonna take a guess. 10,000, easy. Okay, easy. All right, now let me check this out. We might have another JSCO77's got something here for me. Let's see if it's another picture. Oh, it is. All right, it's a Twitter. It's a picture from Twitter. I'm going to send it to Brock here and Mike, and see if they can also work it in while they're working the other ones in. And here they are trying to learn this new software, and I'm throwing stuff. It's a good way to learn, guys. Just throw stuff at you, okay? What else can I say? Just throw it at you. But it is unbelievable, really. Give me 1 second here. Let me me send this mail quickly to him. 1 second. Just take a second here. But I mean, what's the odds of this? I mean, what are the odds of this? And find the picture. There it is. Okay. Now let me get it sent real quick. I'm gonna title this one Twitter picture. Okay. It's a Twitter fire. If I could spell. Okay. And there it goes. All right, let me get out of there. That way you can grab it. You should be able to grab it real quick. And he'll have that up on the screen for you guys in just a moment. This is a huge, huge fire breaking out in Dubai. Totally out of control. There's no question about it. 63 stories. That's what it is. It's a 63-story building, luxury hotel in Dubai. Massive New Year's Eve fireworks display was supposed to be, they were going to celebrate big time. This has to be terrorism. I mean, this thing don't just catch on fire, okay? Mike, it don't catch on fire. It don't. It's New Year's Eve. You got threats to every major capital in the world almost. New York City, Los Angeles, Washington, D.C. Heavy, heavy alert. It wouldn't shock me right now if New York didn't just cancel their celebration. Would not shock me if Washington or L.A. doesn't. You know, London, England, paranoid right now. Paris, France, don't want to be hit again. And this may be the CNN. This may actually be the 9/11 of the Middle East. As you can see right there, look at the fire there. It's just raging. I just sent him some new pictures, and he'll work those in. And when he gets them cropped, he'll get them ready for you. But what's happening is this thing is out of control completely out of control. Miss CD, you got a live feed for me over there? I'll grab that and just see if I can get you some audio, guys, to go along with the pictures that Brock and Mike are putting up for us. So give me a moment here as I'm trying to log
damage
on.
From collapse as well?
I think they'd be more in danger from collapse as opposed to flames, but I wouldn't be hanging around in any building within a couple of blocks of that place.
Wow. Okay,
yeah, that building's going to go down.
This
That's
point,
what I think.
if the sprinklers are overwhelmed, we know that the firefighters were racing to the scene.
It's out of
but
control.
If they're mostly standing back, I mean, there would be a danger to them. Is there any point at all at trying to train hoses on this building?
No.
Well, it couldn't hurt, but it's not going to help a lot. And your typical hoses, you can't get more than 10 stories up. And then you've got to make
it's out of control. I'm looking at it.
Which is very dangerous.
Oh, and I've got to ask you about the fireworks because the biggest part of the show tonight on New Year's Eve was planned for the Burj Khalifa, the world's tallest building. And they were planning this 8-act light and sound spectacle.
Comes another feed, folks.
But what we heard from a neighbor is that mostly the Address Hotel also sets off fireworks from their rooftop.
It's gone. This thing's gone.
Would you be suspecting at all the firework portion of this?
Well, if you're talking about the rooftop, no. This actually, and
no, it's just one building. It's just one building, guys.
But it looks like
they're just giving you different
the fire
angles
originated in what appears as to be a parking structure.
I don't know.
Yeah, we heard this. I mean, here's the Burj nearby. You can see the height of that building compared to the Address. I mean, it towers over everything else. I mean, but at 63 stories, the Address is no shrinking violet itself. And can you see the smoke now just wafting off in front of the Burj at this point? By the way, John, we were told by an eyewitness that he saw the fire. He thinks he saw the fire start, and that he thought it started down at the bottom, if it was a parking structure or the lobby or whatever. He thought it started at the bottom. So it's hard to sort of make that fit into a fireworks scenario unless they were doing shooting off fireworks from the ground floor as well.
It is. But I just looking at this, I mean, this is very impressive, and it could well be as impressive as 9/11 in terms of what happened.
Well, that's exactly what I've been saying to you guys here, and I think that the United States mass media is so clueless that they can sit there and look at a 63-story building on fire, burning all the way to the top, and they can't figure out just the magnitude of what you're looking at. They just like, wow, I didn't realize that could be pretty bad. No, there's at least 10,000 people were in that hotel. Who knows if they got out, if most of them got out before this thing got completely out of control, or if there are people still stuck in this thing and can't get down now. You just heard them say there's no way. The fire department, they're backing off. They can't do anything with this. The sprinkler systems have failed, could not put it out. So there's some kind of, in my opinion, this was probably some type of a terrorist attack that would overwhelm the sprinkler systems. Remember these terrorists, and it's called kinetic energy. And so if you look at that building there, that whenever the planes, they made sure them planes hit up there high so that when the flames and the burning eventually would bring down the Twin Towers, they understood kinetic energy. And so they did their homework. They did their physics. They studied and calculated what it would take to bring the building down. I have to say right now, there's a high probability that that building is going to go down. And there's no need to send in a bunch of firemen, first responders, to try to save a building that you can't save, because it's going to be impossible to do this. It's going to be impossible to save it now. Now, will it fall? Probably. Maybe not. But I would almost guarantee that it will. And so there's the danger of anybody too close to this thing. And you heard what the guy was just saying a moment ago. If you're within 20 blocks of there, I mean, you just need to get out of there. And I think that CNN says the fire started on the 20th floor and then spread. But if you look, the fire is all the way down to the bottom. It's all the way to the bottom. Fire goes up, but I just got a feeling that we've got. And here's another thing: I believe the terrorists know what it takes to overtake the sprinkler systems. They know what kind of fuelants to use. They would know. Maybe they were already inside. They shut the sprinkler systems down before they ever started the fire. Maintenance men could be working in there. I mean, you could have just a couple guys. Everybody's focused on the fireworks. It's the New Year's Eve. Everybody's wanting to take time off. They're wanting to party. And you just got a few guys working, and you kind of scale down the team. And a couple of those guys are part of ISIS sleeper cell. Pretty easy to put them in Dubai. Next thing you know, they shut down all the sprinkler systems in advance before lighting the fires. And folks, fire rises. It don't go down. So why in the world is this thing, Mike? It's burning from the bottom floor all the way to the top. This is absolutely a fire, which I will guarantee you that the sprinkler systems were shut down in advance. This is an absolute operation to bring down the wealth of Dubai. And that's what ISIS can't stand. They can't stand even the Muslims. They can't stand Muslims doing business with the West. They can't. They hate anybody that doesn't follow the strict Sharia law. They call them infidels, just like Christians and Jews. And if you think that this ISIS is contained, you watch, ISIS will claim credit for this. I guarantee they do. They did it. I guarantee they did it. One of their operatives that they're using. And they probably have situations like this planned in more than one city in the world. It would not shock me if you don't hear of some other massive fires or explosions in other cities in the world. It would not shock me. This does not have to be just one. It's incredible. ISIS hates, you're right, ISIS hates Saudi Arabia because of their wealth, because of their prosperity, because of the things that they've been able to do. And so, what happens is, even though Saudi Arabia actually practices Sharia law, they really do, there's no question that this is that ISIS is out to tear down, to destroy any civilizations or cultures of people that have any kind of freedom at all. And Dubai has, even though I would say Dubai is about 90% Muslim, they are more Western culturized and a whole lot more. And that would, just like Saudi Arabia, that's what would make them very vulnerable to this thing. And I think the night is just young, folks. I think we're just getting started. Tonight we're doing a New Year's Eve special. We'll be coming on around 10 o'clock tonight, maybe a little earlier if we need to. I'm going to be doing some preparation for 2015, or a look at it on in 2016. But this story is going to absolutely front and center. And I kind of believe this won't be the last story of the night. I just have a bad feeling, and it's terrible. It's just absolutely awful. And you guys can see, I mean, the flames just raging. It's from the bottom all the way to the top, Robo-Mom. So if it started in the 20th floor, it wouldn't be... Do you guys remember 9/11? Okay, the planes hit around floor 78 or something. The fire did not burn down. It just kept going up. The building came down. So if this thing started on the 20th floor, it doesn't burn down. It burns up. So why is there flames from the bottom to the top? It's because this thing is probably was a multi-floor process. Wasn't just one spot. They might have started this fire in multiple floors, shut down the sprinkler system in advance of starting the fire so that everybody that was scrambling and nobody could get there. Nobody could get there. It's just crazy what's going on. Some of you are watching right now. Many of you are listening on Blog Talk Radio. I just want to say God bless each and every one of you that are listening out there. We're covering this live. It started happening right during the program. Also, those of you that are with us over at YouTube, live at YouTube, we want to say God bless each and every one of you. We're glad you're with us. There's 323 of you there. Looks like there's about 100 people listening on their cell phones. Could you dial the number 347-324-5208? We've got a lot of folks also with us at Paul Begley Prophecy website. A lot of them are in the chat rooms. Hundreds of you are watching over at New Live Stream. We want to say God bless to all of you. And let's go back to the live feed here and see what else we can learn about what's going on here.
We expect to see more fireworks, and this one intentional and intended to not only entertain those 2 million people or so who had gathered in person in Dubai to watch it, but millions upon millions around the globe who would see it on television. In fact, our intention has been to show you the fireworks celebration in Dubai as well. It's always one of the world's most spectacular sights and one of the world's biggest and most celebrated New Year's Eve parties happening in Dubai, certainly the most in the Middle East. And apparently in an hour and a half, we may still see that. In the meantime, we've been told that people are moving away from the fire in an orderly fashion. Are these live pictures that we're seeing? Because in some ways, it does seem like the flames have just slightly moderated in that building. And there you're seeing, again, on the left, the huge building, the Burj Khalifa, world's tallest, that would be home base for the fireworks celebration tonight, the light and sound spectacular. And on the right, the Address Hotel that's burning, an easily walkable distance, judging by the map.
And
so let me give you a sense of the difference in height now. The Burj is 163 stories. The Address is 63 stories. So you've got another 100 stories on the tower to your left. But still, at 63 stories, this building would loom large in any modern city. And if you took a 63-story building and set it down in the middle of Manhattan, it would still stand out.
Okay. So
all right, Kane Evans rejoins us on the phone now. Kane, you had told us earlier that you believed you saw the fire start. We're learning from Dubai officials. They think the fire started outside the building, about at the 20th floor. How does that compare with what you saw?
From what I saw, I'm in an office on a 12th floor, like probably half a kilometer away. But when we saw it develop, it looked like it was from the middle to the bottom. But definitely sort of the same height as we are, and then it just spread up really quickly.
What's your sense of how things are progressing now since we spoke about half an hour ago?
The whole building's black. It's still burning inside. I can see apartments are burning, and it looks like it's spreading on the base of the building. Like I said, where it's largest, it's still spreading.
Have you?
So, as you can hear what he's saying, this is a guy sitting on the 12th floor. He's on the 12th floor of a building in the distance there in the city of Dubai. And he says it looks like the fire started almost about his eye level. And she asked him, well, what is it doing now? And he says, well, the whole building is burning from the bottom floor to the top. It looks like it's just black, but he said, I can see apartments building on the inside, the whole building. So she's hoping to see, here's what was going to happen tonight. Dubai was going to broadcast live the largest firework display celebration in the whole world. So CNN's there. I mean, there were different people there. They wanted to cover this. And you could hear her. Now, the lady talking, I don't know what her name is. She's from CBS. But, I mean, she's like, well, maybe they can still have the firework display. Maybe they can get this thing under control and everything's going to be okay when we have the fireworks. I mean, that's just the mentality. The mentality. This is a 63-floor building inferno, and you're worried about having a fireworks tonight. You should be worried about how many more buildings will start on fire in Dubai tonight. Is there more buildings planned to burn? Or is there more plots for other types of terrorism to go on with the thousands of people that are going to be there? And oh, by the way, every police chief, every mayor of every major city around the world has got to be on the phone right now with their police chief saying, what is the story with all of our major skyscrapers? Can you double check, find out, are sprinkler systems working? We don't want to get hit with the same thing that they're doing. I mean, common sense. You got these media people saying, wow, but maybe we can still have the fireworks tonight. Everybody was going to watch. No, dude, it's not going to happen. It's just not going to happen. Are you serious? It's just not going to happen. You've got an inferno. You've got an inferno. I mean, you've got an inferno. I mean, this is insane. And as this goes on, this shows you how dummied down the American press is. The mass media, the mainstream media is so dummied down right now. Look at that fire. Look at that building right now on the screen, folks. And she's worried about, well, maybe we can still have a firework display a half a block away. Are you serious? Are you seriously saying that to me? Are you right? Is everything okay? Somebody slap your grandma. I mean, are you, what? And that's the mentality. That's the mentality. As long as it's not bothering me on my block, as long as it isn't where I'm at, I don't see why we can't still have a good time. We don't know how many thousands of people are maybe trapped in this thing. We don't know who started it. They don't want to even, have you heard the word terrorism from anybody? I doubt it. Miss ZD or some of you guys that's been checking other feeds out there, I mean, is anybody in the media right now using the word terrorism? It's New Year's Eve, and one of the largest buildings in Dubai is in an inferno on the very night the whole world was supposed to be watching. RoboMom says that building will collapse. I agree. It will. It's coming down. It's coming down. And still, the CBS anchor woman, she's concerned whether or not if they can still have the fireworks display. I mean, are you serious? Are you seriously serious? This is not a cheap hotel on the edge of town where somebody was smoking in bed. I mean, this is a 63-floor luxury hotel with the finest sprinkler systems and protections in the world. This thing is a terrorist attack. Somebody shut down the sprinkler systems in advance before using high flammable material to start a fire that they believe will use kinetic energy to bring this building down. And you will hear people, they'll be dancing in the streets across the world. Literally, some of these radical Islamic groups will be dancing, especially ISIS, as they are declaring. I mean, look at this thing. Look at this thing. Are you serious? Look at this thing. This is the situation that's taking place right now in Dubai. And I think when you take a step back and you look at what's going on and you start to understand the severity of it, the seriousness of it, tonight, I don't know what we'll be covering tonight by the time we get there. I mean, we don't know where we're going to be by tonight's broadcast. We're at can I say the word? We're at the midnight hour. And guys, remember, now twice, I've been doing these New Year's Eve live broadcasts now for 5 years. 1 year, the birds fell out of the sky in BB, Arkansas to bring in the year 2011 while I was on the air. The next year it happened again. People went breaking in to the broadcast as pastor. It's happening again in BB, Arkansas. I thought they were kidding me. And we ended up getting links to the actual feed out of the television stations out of there. And so 5,000 blackbirds fell out of the sky on a New Year's Eve to bring in the year 2011. 6,000 birds fell out of the sky on New Year's Eve to bring in the year 2012. Now, a burning inferno in Dubai to bring in on New Year's Eve to bring in the year 2016 as the terror threat is at an all-time incredible high. And it's not going to get better. You're not going to put this fire out no matter if it's wrecking your party. I mean, this thing is huge. And I'm still trying to find out, do we have any information about people trapped in the building? Did everybody get out of the building? If everybody got out of that building, then they would have got this fire out. This is my belief. This fire apparently raged out of control so quickly, there couldn't have been any sprinkler systems working, which I believe means it was sabotaged. And my just froze. Huh? Are we down? Okay. Hang on, everybody. Blog Talk and everywhere else. YouTube. We just lost the feed. Let me get out of it. Let me get it back. Hang on, Brock. There's so many people online, I bet you right now. It's crazy over this. I'm trying to get the feedback, so hang on, okay? Hang on, everybody. We'll get it back in just a second. Okay, there we go. Now we can get the feedback on. Hang in there. One moment here. Push that one. Boom. All right, Brock, you can go ahead and link back up to the camera. You should have it now, and yours should be back up. And folks, you can should be back. I think we're back. Okay. Sound will be back in just a second. Hang on just a moment here. You may have to refresh your page, folks. Possibly. Miss Edia can let you know that. But I'm just being honest. I don't see how. In just a second. I don't see how that you can't realize the potential for this being. Someone is now reporting, says RoboMom, they heard an explosion. You know they did. There had to have been. And there might be, there may have been many explosions. There could have been many explosions. It could have went boom, boom, boom. There could have been flammable things put inside the building. I would say the sprinkler systems were shut off. This was an inside job. This was certainly, there's no doubt about it. And, ISIS is sending a message. ISIS is sending a message. You can't stop us. We can hit you whenever we want to. It might be Toronto. It might be Sydney. It might be London. It might be Paris. It might be New York. It could be LA. We'll hit you. Brussels said, we give it. We give up. They have you don't know where these people are plotting. The sleeper cells that are just been released into the different nations of the world. The underground workings that's going on. Look at San Bernardino. I mean, these people are crafty. They're working on a way to destroy. They're like a cancer. They're like an infection. ISIS is pure demonic. It's absolutely pure demonic, and it's just unbelievable. Okay, I got Mike from Uniontown. Thank you for this link. Let me just check it, and we may have an update here. Fire is ripping through the 5-star Dubai hotel. Just yards from the tens of thousands of people who were preparing to see the New Year's Eve fireworks display. The fire has engulfed a Dubai hotel close to where the city is about to hold the New Year's celebration. It's out of control. It was not immediately clear what caused the blaze at the five-star hotel, which is minutes from the tallest building in the world, where the New Year's display was due to begin at 8 p.m. UK time, which means it should have started already. Authorities have said the display is still going ahead. They're going to go ahead with it. I'm unreal, guys. It's unreal. Look at this building. It's insane. I got a great picture of it. Brock, you want me to send it to you? I'm going to send this to you. Hang on. Okay? An unbelievable picture there. So let me pull that together real quick. And what we're seeing, folks, right now is an absolute tragedy. It's a tragedy. It's an absolute tragedy. It's the saddest thing I've seen in a long time, since 9/11, to be honest. And you know, what can you say? It's terrible. I'm going to send this email right here in just a moment, as I'm right now sending it with the picture on it. It'll be up on your screen, guys, very shortly. It's a very good picture of what's happening right here. It's called Great Photo of the Fire, Brock. And boom, boom. And it should be going any second here. So you should be getting it any second. I'll get out of there so you can pull it together. Let me know if you find it. So, again, I don't know what's going to happen later today. We still have a CME due to a direct hit on the Earth. I'm concerned about anything. Earthquakes from this powerful CME, tsunamis potentially. But I've been saying all morning here, and been saying on this broadcast today, and I was talking about ISIS when this happened, that I felt that the biggest story that we may be facing today is not the CME, but the demons within, the sleeper cells that are absolutely. And RoboMom's right. People are dying right now there, and they're still going to go on with the celebration there. I mean, it's really mind-boggling. I think that sometimes big money. You know how much money they probably spent on this New Year's Eve fireworks display that was going to be broadcast around the world? I mean, hundreds and hundreds of millions of dollars. And what has just happened is this fire has wrecked the party. And instead of saying, maybe we've got a serious issue here, maybe what's next? People still want to go on with the festivities. There could be, 1,500 people dead. I don't have no idea. And this is where our mind is. This is what's happened to the world. We've become so dummied down that as long as it's not your apartment burning down, as long as it's not your car in flames, as long as it's not your kid in the morgue, you just want to keep on partying. And they're living like it's 1999. And nobody wants to talk about Jesus. Nobody wants to believe that Christ is coming back and that the climate chaos is actually the climate of the terrorism and the wickedness. It's unbelievable. And you're right. The Bible says that in the last days, men's hearts would wax cold because iniquity abounds. The love of many would wax cold. And that's what we're seeing. It's what we're experiencing. The demons of hell, it has begun. And I still can't forget the night of the San Bernardino shooting. When Russ Dizdar went on there and posted on his Facebook page, it has begun, the Black Awakening. And, you're sitting there looking at this tower. You're looking at this unbelievable scene of flames raging. And you realize that it's out of control. This is a world spinning out of control. This is a world that needs Christ. This is a world that's in trouble. And I'm going to just say this quickly. If you're listening right now and you realize that you need a Savior, I want you to stop and think for a minute. There's no guarantee that you'll be here come morning. There's no guarantee that you'll be alive in the morning. You have no idea what's waiting around the corner of any of us. So this is why you have to have your life right with God. This is why you got to get born again. This is why you want to follow the love of God and understand who the Lord is and His love. We have to really pray for these people right now in Dubai. We really have to pray for them. There are people there from all over the world. That is one of the major, you know how many tourists are there? There are people not only just from the nation of United Arab Emirates, but there are people from all over Europe, all over America. This is where the wealthy travelers go. They're there for the New Year's Eve celebration in Dubai. The parties that's going on there is off the charts. And this is part of Al Jazeera. Christy Connor just said Al Jazeera says that building is 7 years old. That's how new it is. 7 years old. Luxury. 5-star plus. Top of the line. Top shelf. I mean, this is it. There's no way this thing can just catch fire on New Year's Eve and burn from top to bottom without the sprinkler systems or the protections in place. This has to be a terroristic attack, and it's more than just setting a curtain on fire. Folks, they had to have shut the sprinkler systems down and disabled them to where they would not work and could not work, and set it in a way that there was no way that the fire departments could get there, that the sprinkler systems wouldn't work, and the people would be caught totally off guard. Because people were going to be in those buildings tonight, partying, looking out the window at the spectacular fireworks display. That's where they were staying tonight. They're not going to get out on the street. They were up there. This is the top echelon. This is the multi-rich. And they were already partying. And the windows were wide open and are waiting for the start of the fireworks. And all of a sudden, the building is raging on fire. Do they get out? Can they get out? Do we know the situation? And this is where we're at. This is the reality of the situation. Tonight, we'll be having a special 2-hour show on the New Year's Eve. I'll be giving an altar call tonight. I want you to really think about your soul. I really want you to ask yourself, are you ready to face 2016 without Jesus? Just taking your chances and just see how things work out. Are you ready to face this next year filled with ISIS, filled with economic insecurity, filled with demon spirits, wickedness, the New World Order rising quickly? Are you ready to deal with the reality of the situation and understand we are living in the last days? But it's the truth. Time is running out. Tonight's broadcast will start at 10 p.m. Eastern. We will go until midnight. I may come on a little earlier than that, so if you want to be hanging out here in the chat room an hour or so early, I might go live. It depends on what happens between now and then. And I said that when I first went on the air today. I said, I don't know. Depends what happens today, because I'm thinking something's going to happen, and I don't want it to, but here it is. Here it is. It's midnight somewhere, everywhere. It's midnight somewhere. And time is running out. And in the Bible, just before midnight, many things happened. Midnight, when Samson got up and tore the gates off the city and left the harlot's house. It was midnight when the Exodus came and the 10th plague throughout Egypt and slaughtered the unborn, the firstborn. It was midnight that the 10 virgins heard that the bridegroom had come. 5 were wise and 5 were foolish. It's at the midnight hour throughout the entire Bible. It was midnight that Ruth laid at the feet of Boaz, and he noticed that a woman was sleeping near his feet, and it would eventually become his wife. It's the midnight hour for somebody. And this being New Year's Eve, this being another time where we have a major situation developing right there. It's incredible what's taking place. It's incredible what's going on right now in Dubai. It's heartbreaking, really. It's a sad, sad thing. It's very sad. Missy D is saying that there's a Periscope. There's somebody who's on Periscope right now, right there at the scene of the fire. Over 12.6 thousand people watching on their Periscope, trying to find out what's going on. Somebody just said, Shoshana Jacob said, there's a face in the fire and the clouds, Pastor. This is the 9/11 of the Middle East moment. And here's the thing, what you don't know. Most of the people in that hotel were Westerners, Americans, Canadians, Australians, New Zealanders. They were from the United Kingdom. They were from Germany. They were from France and Belgium and Sweden and Switzerland and Scotland. They were from South Africa. They were from India and Pakistan. The majority of the people in that building tonight were Westerners, mostly Westerners, who were there to celebrate and party the New Year's End. They had no idea, nor did they ever suspect, that that building, 7 years old, the most elaborate luxury hotel building in all of the city, would become a burning inferno
90 seconds
on New Year's Eve. I will see you guys tonight. I'll be giving an altar call tonight before midnight. Make a decision. Accept Jesus Christ as your Savior. Don't miss it. We'll be starting live at 10 p.m. Eastern, if not sooner. Be here early. We may go early. We may go on earlier. Give your life to Jesus Christ.
60 seconds.
We're running out of time. And when I say that, and you guys hear me say it all the time, I'm serious. We are running out of time. Give your life to Jesus Christ before it's too late. Call on the name of the Lord, and you shall be saved.
Fourth generational preacher, Pastor Paul Begley, thanks you for your participation in today's broadcast. The Coming Apocalypse with Pastor Paul Begley is broadcast Monday through Friday for 3 full hours from noon till 3 Eastern Standard Time. You're also encouraged to watch Pastor Paul Begley with Sunday Night Live from 7 p.m. till 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. The good news doesn't stop there. Pastor Paul preaches the good word of salvation daily with his highly popular YouTube video ministry, examining today's headlines and showing how biblical prophecy is unfolding before our very eyes.
Are you serious?
Whether it's in the chat rooms during the coming apocalypse or with his YouTube videos, Pastor Begley is watching for the 5 magic words from you, and they are, I want to be saved. I want to be saved. Just type those 5 words, and Pastor Paul will give you his full attention and lead you to salvation through our Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. Thank you again for your continued support of Pastor Paul Begley and his internet ministry. Your love, gifts, and show of support help him to keep moving forward in the Lord's work. Again, thank you for watching, listening, and encouraging each other. And until next time, Pastor Paul says,
Are you serious? Are you serious?
to save it now. Can you save it?
Yeah.
Make sure we save it. That's a real good one. We'll make sure we save it. Let that dog in.
Should be in there. Should be.
Sometimes you got to post it.
What it should. I think that posted it right away. Can you go to live stream and see if it posted?
Yeah, let me get rid of this one.
Thank you for using Blog Talk Radio.
I'll go there.
Goodbye.
Hang on a minute. I'll go there right now. In 1 second.
All right. Go outside. That's it. How you back on to 3? Huh?
Hang on a second. I'm still on live on YouTube. Let me go. Where do you want me to go, Mike?
Go to your live stream page to see if that video posted.
Live stream page. Okay, I got some kind of a glitch here. I may have to get rid of YouTube first. So, all right, guys. I'll see you guys. YouTube. I'll see you guys tonight. All right. God bless all of you. See you guys tonight.